If you knew, if you had the answers, you should be working at the Dome and being paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
But being that you, for your life as a goaltender, what are you seeing with Jacob Markstrom? Everyone's different. We don't know what's going on in here. He seems to be a guy that he's not injured. He seems physically very capable to play better, but he is not. The winner in overtime was
Atrocious.
it just can't go in. What's happening the way you see it with Markstrom this year or even just the last month or so?
Well, it's between the ears. And for his size, he looks so small, so you can tell he's got absolutely zero confidence. This guy can't play a huge boatload of games. He can't. He is moving into the realm of being a 1A, 1B guy. And I know that they're paying him like a number one guy, but he cannot handle the pressure. Like he really can't. It's just crazy. Anytime they need one save, he can't make it. The Flames finally turn the corner and they're playing well, and a bad goal goes in. Or right off the start, they're fragile and they're down 2-0 before they can even figure out the hockey game has even started. And he's chasing pucks. He's small. He's getting mad. And I know he's an emotional goaltender, but he's just, you can see his emotion just emanating from him. And when he skates on the ice, there's zero confidence. I don't know what's going on with him, but I don't think he's this bad, but I don't think the other side, he's not as good as we think he is too. I think he's more of a middle of the pack guy.
So that's been my beef. The last little bit is trying to go back over the course of his career, because the complaint was, well, you can't play him too much because if you play him too much, he gets tired. He doesn't play as well. And
gets injured too.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fine, I guess. But I don't think that's the problem. I don't think it's games played. I think it's he can't handle pressure situations. And I haven't done a deep dive into it, and I won't because I'm lazy. But I guarantee you, you go look through his career, he hasn't led his team into the promised land ever, or taken him deep, or carried him on his back. It's always been, he played too much, so he's tired, and then he gives up bad goals, and he's no good anymore. I'm like, no, that's not it. Because he's not playing too much. He's had plenty of rest. He can't handle pressure.
Well, and he doesn't have a number one mentality. I think he's looking for a break. I said, you've played with some of the best goaltenders on the planet, Red. And Hasek wanted to be in the net every night. Kiprusoff wanted to be in the net every night. And even if they had a bad game, you knew it's like he's fine. With Markstrom, he steps on the ice, he's got a bad goal, he's not fine. He makes a save and he looks weird, it's not fine. There's nothing fine about him. He can't seem to get over that hump of that starter mentality. That's always, for me, when I played, that was always a hard thing for me to do, because when I didn't think about it, like if I didn't put any pressure on myself, I just went out and played. I remember Ryan McGill played me like 21 straight games, and he called me into the office. He's like, you need to fucking figure this out. He goes, you have the talent to do this, but you need to string a couple games going. He says, you're playing every game down the stretch, so fucking get going, or you're shit or get off the pot. Let's figure it out. And I think I played 19 of 21. And after a while, that didn't happen throughout my whole career, but it's a mentality. And I just don't think Markstrom has that number one mentality. I think he's a guy that can get streaky. He can play well. He's super talented. He's had a few good playoff series. He's done well at the tail end of his career in Vancouver. He looked like he could do it. But every time he's been on that stage to prove it, like last year, he was only good the first half of the season last year, right? He was lights out. He was stealing games for him. And then he tapered off and kind of settled down, and then he was garbage against the Oilers. Played phenomenal against Dallas, which I was shocked, because that's a very tough position for a goaltender to be in when Ottinger is stealing the show every single night for Dallas. You know that you have to make one or two saves at the key time, and he was able to do that. And then he jumps into an even more pressure-packed situation, and he completely melts.
It's going to, whatever you want to call them now, 1A, 1B, that's got to be the way it's going to be, I think, moving forward. We are led to believe it will be Dan Vladar in the net tonight against the Detroit Red Wings.